Okay, now let's start practice coding. So we are about to create a simple calculator wherein there are two text boxes that we need and two buttons. Okay, so once we input a number in it and let's try to click yung add, basically it will display this kind of result. So basically it will try to calculate yung value na na-input natin. So if ever naman po we click yung subtract button based on the value kanina, then ito po yung magdi-display naman, which is the difference of the two numbers. Okay? So that will be our task today for our practice coding time. Okay? Okay, so let's now start our coding part. So of course, every time we start our development, we need to make sure that the SAMP control panel is naka-start po yung Apache web server natin. So we need to make sure that one. So once it is already started, we can now close this one. And then let me go to my drive C where my SAMP is located. Hanapin ko lang. Then htdocs. Then dito, I'm working with learning PHP. So dito, I will just try to organize once again yung project ko. So gawa lang ako ng practice 3. And then once that happen, I will open that folder in a text editor. So basically, I'm using yung Sublime Text. So mag-file, open folder, then hanapin ko lang po yung SAMP. Then htdocs, then yung practice 3, then select folder. And then yung isa, pwede ko na po itong i-close. Tignan natin to. So dito, I'm going to create new file. Click ko lang to. Right click tayo. New file. And then save lang natin to as the index.php. So always take note guys, always remember to check your directory kung saan kayo located. Baka kasi yung iba nasisave sa ibang directory. So they're wondering bakit hindi nagra-run yung code nila. So make sure that it is located in the directory kung saan mo siya gustong i-save. Okay? So save natin to. So gagawa lang ako ng basic HTML form. Zoom out ko lang to. And then say learning PHP. Then gawa ko ng H1. Simple calculator. Yan. So, save ko muna and let me try to run this one if it is okay, kung walang mga error. So, type natin localhost, then yung learning PHP, then of course yung practice 3. Yun yung pangalawang folder ko. So, yun. Okay, so since it is working naman, let me try to zoom it para mas maging malaki yung output natin. Okay. So, let me go back to the code. So I'm just going to create a form, basic form, action, nalagay ako, of course, I just leave it empty, then method, going to use post. And then I want to create a div para makag-manage ako ng style later. Number 1. And then, of course, yung input, type text. Then yung value, yung name, I'm going to set it as num1. So let me just copy this one. Then number 2 for the num2. And of course, yung mga buttons. Input, type submit. Then, of course, yung name natin, sabihin natin add ptn. And then, for the value, of course, ito yung label na magdi-display sa button. So, gawin natin add. Then, another button will be type submit also. Pero, of course, yung name niya is magkaiba. Then, gawin natin itong subtract. Yan. So, let's try this one in our browser muna. Tingnan natin kung ano yung result. Refresh. Okay. So, para may gusto lang akong i-fix ng bahagya, lagyan ko lang ng counting style. Div margin bottom, gusto kong mayroong 5 pixels. Then, yung mga span for the label part, gusto ko magkaroon ng display inline block with having a width of 90 pixels then naka-float left. Yan, tingnan natin yan. Refresh. Yan, kahit pa paano meron ng mga spacing. Okay, so now what we're going to do, once we click this one, it should calculate the numbers. Tapos i-display natin yung result. And also, same thing with subtract. For now, guys, we're not going to work with some validation. Okay? For this example, for this practice coding. But of course, in your future development, it is a must that you need to implement yung form validation. Di ba? Sige, proceed muna ako. Once the form is submitted, I'm going to check if yung server request ba na ginagamit, server request, server, or request method, ba na ginagamit is post. If it is post, then that's the only time na ma-proceed ako dito. Then second is I'm going to grab the value num1 and then of course yung num2. So dito, paano ko malalaman if ano yung gagamitin natin or ano yung button na na-click? So we can use the if statement. And then, gagamit tayo ng function of PHP that will check if na-declared ba yung isang variable. So, yung post, I'm referring to the name of the button. Na-declare ba yung variable na to? If yes, therefore, addition po yung operation na gagamitin natin. So, sabihin natin answer. Then, num1 is plus, of course, yung num2. Then, pwede na po akong mag-echo ng result. Sabihin natin, the sum is, then I will concatenate the variable of ans or answer. Okay? Ever naman po, hindi add yung button na clinic, then we can go to the else. Gamitin natin yung if else. So yung else, hindi naman siya ganun ka-require na kailangan may else palagi yung isang if statement. Kahit wala, okay lang po. So dito, I have two conditions. First is yung button. Then the second one, it should be not subtract name, it should be subtract btn rather. Then the other one is the subtract btn. So check ko. Kung add, ito yung gagamitin ko. Kung subtract yung na-click, ito naman yung ima-manage kong code. So minus, and then of course dito is difference. Yan. So let's try to check the output. So refresh ko lang. Ano? Ito pala. Kasi para ma-refresh siya. Then input tayo ng value. 15, 5, submit. Okay, another one. 50, 42, we're expecting should be 92. Okay, what about if we try to minus 50 minus 20? 30. Okay, cool. But if 60 minus 5, subtract, yun, 55. Okay, so let me try to, what if wala tayong value na nilagay? What will happen? Yan, nagkaroon tayo ng ganitong error. A non-numeric value encountered in index.php line 21. So, asan ba yan? Line 21, ganito. Dito yung line 21. So, nagkaroon tayo ng error. It is because yung kinakalculate dito, basically string. So, based sa error, a non-numeric value. So, non-numeric pero number yung in-input natin. It is because by default, yung kapag walang laman, hindi siya number, hindi siya zero. Hindi siya kinoconsidering as zero. Kung walang laman, this is just an empty value. Therefore, possible, it is a null or a string. So, if we want to make sure na it's still a numeric value regardless if empty yung result niya, we can do the casting. So, ikakas natin yung mga input natin into integer di kaya float to make sure na yung value na to is numeric. If that's the case, and we go back to our code and just click the add button without having any value, we'll process the calculation, although zero siya, pero yung error wala na. Kasi we already converted yung mga value into an integer. So it depends na lang po sa atin kung integer yung gagamitin ba natin o yung float, regardless of the situation. Okay, but in this case, yung ginamit po natin is yung integer. Okay? So yun po guys. So that's how we can utilize yung if statement when it comes to comparing something. If you want to check kung nakaset, if you want to compare numbers to another numbers, basta if we talks about comparison, we can use the if statement. Okay? And if we want to force a specific value to a particular data type, then we can use the type casting. Okay po? So I think that's it. Okay guys, so I hope you learned something new today regarding our topic, which is about the PHP conditional statements and also the typecasting. Okay, so that will be all. So thank you for watching guys. Okay, so just like I always say, just keep practicing and never stop learning. Thank you for watching. Goodbye for now.